Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Age Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You can find us many different ways. You can find us on all the social media sites. Always glad to see you on those. And you can also find us on the radio, icradio.media. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and we're syndicated on Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast, thenewscasters.com. Again, thank you so much for watching. I have with me my really good friend, Marandah Henry, and she's with Kitties in the City Rescue. Girl, so good to be back with you again today. How's everything going?
Hi, Donna. We're doing good. We've been so busy. I mean, we are out there in the trenches every week doing TNRs, taking 5 to 10 for spay and neuters every single week. And, then we have our own, adoptions and things that's going on. We have just been covered up. It's been good.
Well, now we have a lot of new viewers. And so explain to folks, what is the organization about, Kitties in the City Rescue?
Okay, so Kitties in the City was founded and created to help cats in our community. There's a lot of dog rescues, and there is one other kitten rescues, but they do not take in adult cats. They only take in 8 weeks and younger. So we wanted to just kind of step up and help with the cats that are 8 weeks and older and try to render help to them. And one of our biggest missions out here is to spay and neuter the feral and stray cats in our community. Now, in America, there's anywhere between, Donna, 70 to 100 million cats that are stray and ferals. They're just on the streets. And so we can't adopt our way out of this crisis. We have to fix our way out of it. And it's going to take a lot of time and boots on the ground to get out there and just get your hands dirty. We get out there with traps all the time. And, we're going to colonies in Arab, Gunnersville, Albertville. There's a big colony there that we're working on. And we just get out there with a bunch of traps and we get them trapped, fixed, and we release them. So when we do that, they're so much healthier. They're not reproducing. The colonies are happier. There's definitely a lot of harmony in the colonies when you completely sterilize them. And so we're just trying to make a better world for our community and for our feline companions out here.
I see your videos. I follow your Facebook page all the time. And so I saw a video where you guys, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I know there's a lot of work to it, but I saw one video where the cat, they're going into this, you guys are getting them so you can take care of them and make their lives a lot easier. I'm hearing somebody laughing a lot. Is that you?
Laughing?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you know which video I'm talking about, but
I don't. I know. We have so many videos because we see a lot of tragic things, but we see a lot of good things too. So we try to share a little bit of both. For an example, there was a mom. Okay, I go to a clinic in Huntsville for our TNRs because the vet cost is so much cheaper than it is around here. I have a local vet that we work with for, things like when one's been, attacked by a dog, an eagle, or whatever. But we go to primarily Huntsville for our spay and neuters. I was taking 5, just dropped 5 off. And on my way back, I got in a phone call. So I pulled over. My mom was with me. And we pull over Ashley Furniture. Now, this is off the Parkway in Huntsville. And would you know it? There is a drain, Donna, with little bitty kittens in it.
Oh,
like, how does this happen? Never have I ever been there. I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, are you kidding? Because I had just taken in 5 brand new newborns and a mom the day before. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But once you see it, you can't turn around. There's nothing there. I looked
Mhm.
around. There's no houses. There's no woods. There's no resources. And this is right off the parkway. And the mom is so feral. So I was thinking, this cat, poor thing. Somebody saw that she was pregnant, and probably trapped her and dumped her. Like, because you can't. There's no negotiating with this cat. And I was like, you have got to be kidding. So I happened to have an extra trap on me because I'd already been trapping, and I was going for 6 cats that day. So I set out the trap, and I got a mama and a kitten right away, and I was so happy. And then I stayed out there. We got them all. There was 4 of them, and they're still with me. But they get fixed next week, and they'll be adopted out. But I've enjoyed them. At first, it was something. They had worms really bad. They were throwing them up out of their mouths. They were coming out the other end. Yeah, they were so underweight. You could feel every rib bone, every vertebrae in their back. I mean, they were just so bony and very malnourished. And so was the mom. Um, the one kitten weighed 7 ounces. I mean, it was so tiny. It was just bones.
Right.
But now they're little fluff balls, and they're doing great.
That's great. Let's talk just for a few minutes. I know you have some pictures we need to look at in just a few minutes, but why is it so important to have the cats, to have our animals fixed like that? Is it healthy? Is it health wise for them?
Oh, it is. So we can talk about the reproduction aspect of it, and we can talk about how 3.2 million animals were euthanized in shelters last year from sheer lack of space. And when you're taking these cats that are adoptable and very loving, and you're having to euthanize them, it's a sad thing. So when you spay and neuter your cat or your dog, you're helping rescues, because we are beyond capacity. We're maxed out. There's so limited resources. And, everyone in rescue is just begging anybody for help, because we are just so overwhelmed. We do way more than I ever thought we would at this part of our rescue. So when you spay and neuter, you definitely contribute to being part of the solution and not the problem.
Mhm.
And when you look at the female, I took one, Donna, about a month or 2 ago. The cat was 7 years old, and they said, well, we don't have a male in the house. She's not going to have kittens, so we just never had her fixed. She was 7 years old, 7 or 8. And I said, well, it doesn't matter. She could still get ovarian cancer. She could still
Mhm.
get mammary cancer. Unspayed females are 7 times more likely to get mammary cancer alone. And the ovarian cancer is even a greater risk. So I explained the importance of it, and they agreed. I took her to go have her spayed, and sure enough, her ovaries were covered in tumors, just covered in tumors. And the vets had to stay over and work on her. It was a very, very difficult surgery. And she made it. But
Mhm.
had she not gotten that surgery, she wouldn't have made it much longer. And then when I got her back, they were telling me, yeah, she was acting kind of weird when she was going in and out of heat and moaning and stuff. And I'm like, well, that's because she has like all these tumors. And so you're looking
Mhm.
at that, but also, how when you're younger, anything can just kind of set you off. You
Yeah.
have this energy, and it's the hormones,
Mhm.
just like with testosterone. Guys, oh yeah, I'll do this
Mhm.
when they're younger, but when you're older, it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Well, cats the
Mhm.
same way.
Yeah.
When you remove those hormones going through their bodies, they're so much more calm, and they're so much happier. And that's what we want to do. You're giving them a better quality of life, and you're completely removing the
Mm.
risk of certain cancers for them. Whether they're having kittens or not, they're still going in and out of heat cycles. And it's the same thing with males. You want to um, take the hormones out of him, and that when that testosterone works out, you'll know it, because he's just chill as can be. And we want that
Mhm.
for all of them.
I know. There's just, I guess I don't understand people that won't get their animals fixed. And then when they start having puppies, kittens, whatever, they just toss them out on the road somewhere. I know Second Chance Animal Shelter, they take dogs in. And so they say, a lot of people just bring a box and just dump puppies out. Just dump them. I mean,
Yes.
how can you not have a heart? I mean, I guess I don't get it. I mean, it doesn't cost that much. And then this is another thing people will say, well, there's a cost, to get them spayed, neutered, to get them fixed. But then they're not considering the thoughts of when they just keep having.
And there is, but you assume.
Mhm.
That's right. And when you buy food for those puppies and kittens, even if you're going to dump them and throw them out, you still bought food for 2 or 3 weeks. You could have went and got connected with one of the low cost programs in your community or in your area. Alabama, a blank sheet. If you have an Alabama address, all you have to do is reach out to North Alabama Spay and Neuter. It's $20 a cat if you make less than $35,000. And let's just say you don't qualify. It's $50 for males and $60 for females. You assume that responsibility when you take on a pet. And it's a one-time investment. I mean, if you just put back $10 a month for, 4 or 5 months, there you go. That's it. And you owe that to that animal because that animal is loving you and giving you unconditional love. And you made a commitment to love that animal and to take care of it. And spay and neuter is the most basic care that you can give an animal.
Well, there's a lot of disease and things like that. Like if you just dump a cat out or a dog or whatever, you just dump them out. I mean, they're going to be susceptible to catching some kind of disease and, and having a really
That's
rough
right.
life. Now there
Yes.
was
So, and to your point, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But to your point, yes, they do spread diseases. We go out to these colonies, and I got a report the other day of a colony of 50, and there's one walking around right now with a broken jaw. Several are injured. Now, how he got the broken jaw, probably someone kicked it. But these males fighting each other, that's how they are transmitting feline leukemia and feline AIDS, and it's a very, very horrible way to die. And we have a saying, no balls, no brawls. And so if you can get that cat neutered, if you can get that cat neutered, he's not going to want to fight. He's going to be like, yeah, whatever, because he has nothing to fight over for the female. Some may, if they're really young, they may be like, wait, you don't know me, don't get that close to me. But they're not going to be fighting aggressively to the max. I've seen them rip each other's face off.
Now you had a cat that you were in contact with. I have some pictures. Are you ready to talk about that right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show picture number 1, and then you just explain what this is about.
Okay. We named her Gracie, because it's by the grace of God that she is with us. I got a phone call or a message a couple of days ago, about this cat with an injured arm. It wasn't until I was at the vet and they pulled this cat out of the carrier that I noticed that it's not just an injured arm, like it's mutilated, it's severed. Upon talking to the vet, that you can see that it's very swollen, it's very infected. I tried my best to get good pictures and a good angle, but it looks horrible. She is constantly walking on that nub. And my vet said that he doesn't know a vet at all that would amputate a cat's arm at that location, because they're going to use it and try to walk on it, which is constantly traumatizing it over and over and over and keeping it inflamed, keeping her in pain. A vet's going to go up here where the shoulder is. And he literally said it looks like someone took an axe and just chopped her arm off.
Oh my goodness.
It's absolutely just gut wrenching to think of this happening to an innocent animal. But it does appear that way. And not only that, when he flipped her over to further examine her, she has a hernia the size of a baseball. So that needs to be, she has 2 major surgeries ahead of her. On top of that, she's pregnant. And if we don't do this, she's gonna have to have a spay. We shared the video, and the vet explained that that's gonna be her best chance to survive. We don't know that the kittens would anyway, but the mom certainly does not have a good chance because that hernia is in the way, and so that will kill her if she goes into labor. So that's going to be our main focus. But she needs the spay surgery, the hernia surgery, and then she needs the proper amputation surgery. So, upon hearing all of this, because I had no idea. I really thought that maybe she was born this way and that kind of thing, but she wasn't. She had her arm just 3 months ago, and it's crazy to think after talking to
So
the lady.
so mhm. So the
Go
doctor
ahead.
could tell then that that was a new cut. So
Yes,
the
he
doctor
could
could
tell.
tell that that was a new cut.
That is correct.
Uh-huh.
So, even though it's infected, inflamed, he could tell that the bone is just a clean slice. Like there's no tear, there's no fragments, there's nothing to indicate. It looks like it was a cut. And that is just horrifying to think of. So, I reached back out to the lady that reported it, and because things just happened so fast, and I wanted to slow down, and I just asked her, I said, do you think your neighbors, the place where this cat come from, because she was telling me this cat can't go back over there. And obviously she can't. I mean, they're not taking care of her. She stunk and she reeked so bad, that poor baby. Her tail is all matted up. But anyway, I asked her, I said, do you think that they're capable? This is the report from my vet. Do you think they're capable of doing this? And she said, absolutely. Before I could even finish, she's like, they are definitely very, very capable of doing this. They're in and out of trouble with the law, as it is, and they have quite a record being on substances and stuff. So I hate thinking that humanity has this in them, but the reality is they do, and they're here in our own backyards. And so we're a very small rescue. We set up a GoFundMe for her. I had the vet to print out the cost that it's going to take. And she can't have both surgeries at one time. I asked that because I figured that would save a little bit, but it would also be a lot easier on her. But her first surgery that is with the hernia and the spay abortion, that's going to be $568. The amputation is $832, and so we're trying to raise $1,400 to go to this cat. And if anyone wants to contribute, they can. We have a GoFundMe. It's on Kitties in the City Rescue page. You can call Westside Veterinary and ARAB and add it to Kitties in the City's account. We named her April, or the lady at the front desk named her April at the time. People, I have to name so many cats. And so she was like, well, what's her name? I'm like, I don't know. You name her. And so she was like, let's just do April. And I'm like, that'll be okay for now, but we are going to change her name to Gracie. But she is April at Westside, or we have PayPal, and that's Kitties in the City. We have Cash App, which is Kitties in the City, and we have Venmo, and that is at Kitties in the City Rescue. So there's so many ways that you can give. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So if you want to, you can even write a check. And we are so grateful for anything, because it's the rescues in these small communities that really try to get out here and make a difference. And these are the ones that truly need support. And it's lives like her that you're saving. I know that the question will be asked, why not euthanize her? Well, if she was feral, if she was old, we have different factors that we're looking at. But if you spend 5 minutes with her, you will see how loving she is. She loves you so much. I mean, she will headbutt you, and it amazes me that her heart is so pure. And you can just look in her eyes and just see that she has a story. And she is so young. This would be her first litter of kittens. And I just feel like life has been so unfair to her that she deserves for someone to care enough about her life and to give her a quality life. And so that's what we're trying to do at Kitties in the City.
Well, what I'm looking at, I mean, I'm just looking at her. She doesn't look much past a kitten. I mean, she's, I guess you'd call her a teenager cat. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
She doesn't look grown. I mean, she's so frail looking. But somebody could take care of her. Gosh, I don't know how somebody can do that. So, and I was also thinking about, because that nub, if this is a fairly fresh cut on her arm, and she's trying to walk on it, that also has to be creating issues.
Oh, it is. It is. That's what he was talking about. He was saying that, just constantly traumatizing and just staying on that nub, and it's causing her just agonizing pain, and it's staying inflamed. It will never heal until it's cut off at the shoulder. And she's going to be a special needs cat. She's in one of our foster homes. I was just with her this morning. And it just breaks my heart because she just hops up to you the best way that she can, and she'll just lay her head over in your hand. She's so sweet. But we're trying to figure out how to get her to go into the potty box. She ate 4 cans of Friskies wet food yesterday and a bunch of dry. Like, she was starving. And so her body isn't used to really eating. And although she's plump, it's plump because she's pregnant. It's definitely not because she is plump. You can feel her backbones when you rub her. Now I've seen them I've seen them worse as far as being malnourished, but she is malnourished. She's just not an extreme case of that. But I'm very curious how the hernia happened with her. And, we'll never know that. But with her arm, the way it is, we're trying to figure out how to accommodate her. My vet was laughing. He's like, yeah, we could make a prosthetic for a cat, but it's a cat. Those are never successful. But he did say that, they've had the 3-legged dogs, the 3-legged cats, and once they figure out how to adjust, they go on to have great lives. And so we want to see her through to that, because she is just a awesome heart. She has a beautiful, beautiful soul. I mean, she's just so sweet.
Yeah, if she could just talk, I'm pretty sure she'd have a huge story to tell of somebody who mistreated her like that. But now, having the hernia, I mean, I know humans get hernias, and it's usually because of lifting heavy things and and that kind of thing. But I mean, I can't imagine how a cat would get a hernia. So,
Well,
I mean,
yeah. One lady said that her cat had one because it was ran over with a tire. So something very traumatic happened to her, I feel like, because she's otherwise healthy. I mean, if you take away what I feel like was intentionally inflicted, wounds that she has, if you took those away, she's a healthy cat. And she is so young. These are not issues that you would see typically in a young cat at all. And that's the reason we're trying to fight for her.
How young are cats typically? I mean, how young can they be to carry kittens?
Oh,
because she
Donna.
just is not much of a kitten herself.
Oh, I know it. But check this out. I was trapping at a colony in Joppa, and this 4 or 5 month old, I'm sorry, I said it wrong, 5 or 6 month old cat, and she might have been 4 months. Anyway, she's right in that area. Took her, had no idea. When I picked her up, they said she was pregnant.
Wow.
And she was a kitten. I mean, just tiny, and it just blew my mind. I made a video about it because it just shocked me. I mean, if you would have seen her, she didn't look it. But thankfully, we were able to get her in, because where she was located, I know people kind of pass judgment on that. But when you see these places where we trap, it is saving a life. And you're talking about the shelters are already full with cats alive and well, and unfortunately, we're having to euthanize them. It would take every American family to adopt 5 cats to empty the shelters. So, I mean, when we're able to get out there and sterilize a colony, we don't give them pregnancy tests, before they go under the anesthesia or for the knife. Like, there's no way to know. And so we just have to accept that that's part of it, but there's so much good, and that's what we have to focus on.
Absolutely. You know what? We have to go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Okay. Everybody hang in there. We'll be right back.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for 2 or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, We're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
We are back. Good afternoon. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You know, we're worldwide syndicated on Abundance Television. They're out of Minneapolis, and you can find us on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. So there's many ways you can find us: Facebook Live, all of the social network. And then you can find us also on the newscasters.com. And that is a very, very good. You got to just look at this channel. I mean, a lot of fabulous talk show hosts are on there. And they believe in telling you the truth about things as well. I have Marandah Henry with me right now. She's with Kitties in the City Rescue. Do you mind if I show this little video that I found off of your face? I just got to show it. It's so cute. So let's see if I can find it real quick. I think it's right there. Oh, there it is. Recognize this one?
Oh, yeah. That's using the drop trap at Publix. And I'm thinking, that orange cat is giving his buddy, compadre, a heads up. Like, he's just out there playing with the rope, having himself a good time.
I just think it's so cute. Cats are so playful.
They are. And at the time, he was about 6 months old.
Mm-hmm. Look at that one.
This is at a grocery store in downtown Gunnersville. And this is a colony that I have sterilized all but the mom. And she's just been one of those that have been hard to catch. He's so cute.
Adorable.
He's having a good time with it.
They're so playful, and they can be such a good thing for your family.
Oh, they can. They really can. We have a couple of fluffy tuxedos right now, and they've been the star of the show recently. They're so cute. I forgot. It's been so long since I've seen this video. Oh my goodness. How cute.
It's like, okay, I know you're in there. There you are.
And that's Samson. He's about 9 years old. I had him fixed. He's just happy to be there and get his food. He lays under those cedar trees. He loves his life. I actually found him a home, and he did not adjust well. So he's the only one that I've ever had to return back after finding a home for. But he didn't adjust well, so we sent him back, and he's loved it ever since.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask you a question, and this is about when you see pets out. You're at the grocery store and you just see dogs or cats out. Is it wise to feed them? I know that I have been at the grocery store before, come back and see a pet look like they're starving to death, and just throw food out there to them. Is that a good thing or a bad thing to do?
Well, I have food in my car for those situations. But what I'll do is I'll feed them and then I'll make appointments to go get them spayed and neutered and at least have that. And then I'll post them and try to find homes. But yeah, because they probably are starving and you're giving them a sense of peace. They're not going to prowl through somebody's trash can and be a nuisance, if you feed them. So I'm all for it. If you see one that's hungry, give it some food. You want to make sure, especially with cats, because they can't have certain things. I've pulled up before, oh, this has happened so many times, and see where someone just gave them milk. Cats love milk, but they're lactose intolerant. Like every cat's like lactose intolerant. And so that's not good for their bellies.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that's the first thing you
Yeah.
think of is with milk. I guess the cartoons we watched when we were kids growing up, so milk
Yeah.
drinking cat.
Yeah. And I
Now
do. I have the formula. I keep that on hand because if I have a cat that doesn't feel good, I can mix my medicine with that, and it just seems like they enjoy drinking the formula. And so every once in a while, as a treat or something, I'll give it to my cats anyway. But I never use regular milk ever. I always get the mama's milk.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're about to have winter time come. I mean, summertime come on. We've been in the cold weather segment, but I know cats and dogs eat differently. They don't eat as much in the summertime as they do in the wintertime. The wintertime, it kind of helps keep them warm if they're outside, to kind of put a little fat on. But sometimes they'll just start losing a little bit of weight. Is that normal in the summertime?
Oh, it is, Donna. And it's because they're out, whereas in the wintertime, they're just hunkered down, kind of like we are, hunkered down, trying to keep warm. And it's just miserable when you're so cozy to, take that blanket off. Cats are the same way. And the cats, where we're coming out of the winter, getting into the warmer weather, we're also going to see an increase in, this is going to be the kitten overload. So there's going to be a lot of mating, a lot of fighting, and because they are going to be out roaming and being curious and chasing that critter and this and that, they're going to be subject to predator and prey too. So in the wintertime, we really push making these cat houses, but it's just as important in the summertime. They don't have to be insulated, but you want to give them, and I need to share this video with you. You want to give them just a container and cut a hole in it, a safe place that they can get into where predators can't. That same video you just played, there's 2 cat houses behind there. Well, 2 or 3 months ago, I was sitting at Publix, right, in my car, and then this big old dog from the neighborhood just come up. Oh, he was barking. Well, Samson, the 9-year-old cat, he ran in the cat house, and he stayed cornered, and that dog, all he could do was bark in that hole. He couldn't get the cat. And so it's a really good way to keep your cats protected, your neighborhood cats, your colony cats. If you are a caretaker over, any of them, then get them some little containers and set them in different places and cut them a hole, and that could save their life. I've seen it happen.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about fundraising. I know you mentioned one, you got a GoFundMe page, but are there other ways that people can help you out financially? Cat food?
Anything. Cat trees, cat scratchers. We use puppy pads in our traps, wet food, dry food, kitten food. and especially things like toys and shelves that can enhance their lives, because we have foster homes. We try to do our best. We have some tunnels and things in there, but getting cat trees for these cats would be just wonderful. Anything like that, catios, anything, and we'll come pick it up. I mean, we're so thankful for anything. And yes, absolutely. And even things like laundry detergent, towels, throw blankets, because we're trapping so much. We're constantly at the laundromat washing our towels and blankets, but we go through them, and we always need stuff like that, always. And yes, if you can't give monetarily, there's a list of like a wish list, if you will, of things that we could definitely use that you might have lying around your house and you don't even need.
Now, let me ask you this, because a lot of companies love for their employees to do things outside of the organization. It's giving back to the community. It'd be a great way for a business to give back to the community. Maybe take just $5 a week or whatever out of your paycheck and send that to you guys. That would be great.
Oh, that would be. Because think of it. For every $35, that's a cat that just got fixed. That's a life that just got saved. That's kittens not being born into these streets suffering. It's so much more than just $35 to that cat. It's life changing for the rest of that cat's life. And so, yeah, I mean, anything like that would be tremendous. We're going to try to do like a car wash and get out there. We had the Swamp Johns fundraiser, and that went really well. We used those funds and went and did 15 cats at this one location. And what else? There was another couple that wasn't through the TNR, but they went through our program and got assistance and stuff. And so everything that we plan and do, it 100% goes to these cats, 110%, because I'm always putting in too. So we want you to know that these cats we care about. And I recently was trapping at the Arby's over there in Albertville, just trapped over there a couple of weeks ago. Took 4 of them to the vet, and one of those was female. And those cats are so smart. I've trapped close to 40 of them over there already. And so when I pull up, it's like, yeah, I'm just watching, and I'll see these little eyes sitting down in the grass just looking at me, and you can see I've already got them because they have the tipped ear. And I'm like, oh, I'm not after you today anyway, honey.
I think it's amazing what you do. So is there an adoption process that you guys have?
Yes, ma'am. We if you reach out wanting to adopt. Now, great news. We got we've been talking with PetSmart. PetSmart reached out to us, and they want us to put our cats and kittens in their adoption room, which is wonderful because we are foster based. So we don't have a shelter. We just run out of our homes, our volunteers and things. So this is going to make it where people can go in and see and meet the cats. The headquarter part, which we've already started the process, but that could take up to 6 weeks, and we started on that 2 or 3 weeks ago. So stay tuned, because we might be at the PetSmart in Albertville really, really soon. But right now, if you see a cat that you want, we send you an application. We go over it. Our board members and I decide if you're approved or not approved. If you're approved, then we talk to you, pick out the one you want, and we bring the cat to you.
That's awesome. What kind of questions do you ask folks? Because I know you don't want the wrong kind of person out there adopting your cats. It's the reason they're in the situation they're in.
That's right. That's right. If one of the main ones that I ask is, have you ever declawed, and do you ever plan to declaw? That is the biggest one for me, because do you know what declawing is? Like they cut you off.
I know what it is. Yeah, I mean,
It,
I know cats that have had infected paws because of that, because whoever declawed them didn't know what in the world they were doing. So let's talk about that for a few
yeah,
minutes. That's important.
it is. So it's not just a fancy manicure. It is 10 amputations. They don't just pull out the fingernail. They go below that knuckle right there, and they cut it off, and that causes cats put their weight on the tips of their fingers. Their bodies are not meant to handle the weight right there, so their body has to overcompensate in other areas, and it breaks their body down faster. They most all of them develop arthritis really, really early. And so it's very, very painful for them. And I'll hear people say, well, my cat was declawed and nothing was ever wrong with it. Your cat can't speak to you, but I guarantee you if it could, it would tell you something different. Go look at the x-rays of a declawed cat and you can see what it does to their body. I mean, it's horrible.
Mhm.
And to your point, a lot of them get infected. Then they get bad behavior with the litter box because it hurts them to scratch in the litter box. Well, you took
Mhm.
away their defense. So now they're going to become biters. And so it causes behavioral problems. There is absolutely no benefit. None. There's not one benefit to declawing a cat. The only benefit is that you're not going to get a scratch on your couch. And if you care more about your couch than you do altering that cat's life forever, then I probably, if I were you, wouldn't pick out a cat because it does change their life. And so many times I have seen it, people surrender declawed cats. And I'm like, you've already ruined its life. The least you could do is take care
Mhm.
of it. You know. So
Mhm.
for people that don't know what declawing is, do your research because vets are making bank on this procedure, and it's just
Mhm.
wrong.
Mhm. Yeah, I can see that. So I mean, what do you do? I mean, you can train a cat. I mean, people say, "Oh, cats can't be trained." Yes, they can. They most certainly can. And they don't understand what you're saying, but they understand your hand gestures. I mean, they know these things.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I know our cat's a rescue. And my friend Jimmy used to own the greenhouse grill over in Mentone, passed away. And so they didn't know what they were going to do with his cat. And I said, well, I want him. And so we
Oh.
got together. It was around Christmas time when we got him. And I always put these little bells on my door, on the doorknob of the front door. And, somebody coming in, out, they hear jingle bells. Well, when we got him, he was over there playing with he would play with the doorbells, and he likes to go to the bathroom outside. He doesn't want to use the potty sandbox for some reason. It's just the way Jimmy trained him. So I called Jimmy's sister and I said, I've noticed that he really loves playing with the bells. And when we open the door, he runs out. And I think he's going to the restroom because I'm not seeing where he's going to the potty box. And she said, that's what Jimmy taught him. She said, Jimmy taught him to ring the bells, and that meant you're going to go outside. So, no doubt, you can train a cat to do things. It takes a little time, but you
Oh,
can.
I love that. I love that story, Dawn. Oh, that was
It's
so
so
great.
if your company comes over, they think it's so funny. He'll we take it. We know that's what he's doing, and so he'll come up and just start playing with the bells, like that on the door, and then I'll say, "Oh, he's got to go potty," and then I'll open the door and he runs outside. And then he wants to come back in. But you can train them. I mean, people give up on their animals and they probably give up on their own kids too if they're giving up on their animals. But you can train them to do things. Again, it takes a little time, but you can.
That's right, Donna. Time and patience. And just like your cat, I mean, you have a system that works. And these are my cats. My cats, my germs. If I'm okay with them being on the couch, they don't get on the counter, but I wouldn't freak out if one jumped up there. Um, if if you're uncomfortable with, certain things, you can do things. There's a spray, it's called scratch off. So let's say you have something that's really, really special, really, really important. You do not want your cat to destroy it. All you have to do is buy some scratch off and spray it. We can't smell it. You and I can't smell it. But the cat, it has some scent in there that they don't want to be around. Yeah, it does. It does. And with litter box, I've never had trouble, except for my sick ones in here. I need to knock on wood. But outside of these sick ones, I never had any trouble with a litter box training, because cats naturally want to hide their poop and their pee, because in the wild, that's how they protect themselves, because they know they're in the middle of the food chain and they don't want the big bad wolf to smell their scent, so they cover it up. All you have to do is get you a box of dirt and put it in the living room or in your bedroom, and they'll find it, and that's where they'll go naturally. Training them is nothing, when it comes to the litter box. But and you're right, all they need is to be shown that this is not okay, or this is okay. And if you ever give a no, give a yes. So if your cat can't jump behind the TV, that's a no. We'll give them a perch beside the TV where they can see off the window. So you said no, but you gave a yes. So you got to kind of work with them, and you got to catify to satisfy. I believe in that so much. You got to enrich their lives with scratchers and things to keep their mind stimulated, feather toys. They want to hunt every day. They want to bite every day, nibble on something. And so, try to make your indoors a part of it. The outdoors, bring the outdoors in, grow you some cat grass, get you a cat tree, things like that. And you will see, you will have the happiest cat in the world.
You really can. I'll tell you something else. They love to scratch on things. You can make your own post. So get, like a piece of wood or something, and get some twine and get some hot glue. And then all you have to do is just wind it around there using a little hot glue as you go. And they love that. I mean, they'll play hours with that, and then put something on top of it that they can just kind of play with. That's what cats like. But I want to talk to you again about adoption. Sometimes people will buy their grandchild, or want to come by and maybe adopt a cat for the grandchild, but then maybe the mother or the dad did not like cats. This is kind of like a family decision. I mean, you don't just go get a cat or a dog or anything like that and give it to somebody. You need to find out if people are allergic to it, don't you? You also need to make sure they actually like cats.
That's right. We want to know, for one, if you live in a house or an apartment, and if you have a landlord, or do you own, because we want to know that this cat is welcome. But we want to know about the family members in the home, and we do ask if anyone is allergic to cats. Because we don't want anyone to just wing it and think that they're, if they're really allergic, that this is going to be a problem, because it's going to be traumatizing for the cat or the kitten. A lot of people will want a kitten when it's little, and then when it gets older, they don't want it anymore. We see it on the streets, or we see it, just living in their yard. They're not welcome to come back in. And so we try to vet these people and make sure that this is a forever home. That's the goal, And so far, what I do love is we ask, are you okay with giving updates, just kind of letting us know once it's settled in, and maybe sending a picture to us every once in a while, and I never know when I'm going to get an update on any of them. But those days when I get an update, I'm telling you, it just fills my heart with so much joy. And so we want for us, it doesn't end there. On adoption day, we want to make sure, if you have any questions on anything. If your cat's behaving in a certain way, if it may have gotten sick, if you need us, we are still here for you, because we care about that cat. We care about each of them so much, and we love them, and we want to make sure you're happy and they're happy. And so we try to stay pretty close with our adopters.
I know you do, but you just again, you have to make sure your family is ready for it as well. And I would think being moved from what they get comfortable with you guys, and then you're moving them into somebody's home, is going to take just a little bit of getting used to for the cat, and for your kids as well.
That's right, Donna. And Bissell has the 3-3-3 rule, and I love that. So you need to give them 3 days just to decompress, to be in one room, just to give them their space. Then 3 weeks to really learn your routine. That's a nice bit of time for a cat. 3 weeks to really, see what the environment is and to start coming out. And then 3 months. And in that time, this cat is fully acclimated and is now showing you who they are. Unless it's a feral that's unsocialized. But for the most part, the 3-3-3 rule is a good idea on what to expect out of your cat. If you think that you're going to get a cat, especially from a rescue, because we don't know their backstory, they're here because they went through some type of trauma, you can't expect that cat to know you immediately, to just love you and be in your lap and just crawl all over you and be your best friend on day one. That does happen sometimes, but that's not always going to happen. And it's most likely, right, it's most likely not going to be the case. You are a stranger to that cat. And this lady reached out to me. She needs help with this orange cat. She found it a home, and the cat lasted 2 hours. And then she was calling her back saying, oh, it didn't work out. My animals doesn't like this cat, so you need to come back and get it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, 2 hours? I'm thinking she didn't vet them really well. Yeah, you got to give them the tools too. We love Jackson Galaxy. He's on YouTube, and he's also on the Animal Planet on TV. He does the My Cat from Hell TV show. But he has just so much knowledge about cats, how to properly introduce cats, how to welcome them in your home, cat body language, which is my favorite one, like what it means when their tail is up, what it means when their tail is up with a crook, when their ears are back, when their eyes are dilated, when their eyes have a slit. So he goes through this cat body language video, and I just love it. But he has a library, just a wealth of knowledge. So if anyone is truly in it for the long haul, they have these resources at their fingertips that they can see, well, let me try this. Well, maybe I do need 2 litter boxes. Well, maybe I do need a scratching post. Because if you give them their environment, and you catify it, you're going to have a happy cat, and everybody's going to get along.
I think so too. Marandah, we're going to have to call it a day. Can you believe how time it just flew by? How can folks get in contact?
Okay, Donna, we have our Facebook page, which
how can folks get in contact with you?
Okay, we have our Facebook page, which is Kitties in the City Rescue. You can go to our Facebook page and see our pictures and our videos, and you can check out Miss Gracie with her arm. Our email is kittiesinthecityrescue@gmail.com, or you can check our website out, which is www.kittiesinthecityrescue.com. And so if you need us or want to contribute anything, you have so many ways you can reach out. And my name is Marandah, and I would love to assist you.
Absolutely. Marandah, thank you so much for giving these kitties a home and taking good care of them. I appreciate
Thank you for having me, Donna.
Doing that. Absolutely. And we also appreciate you watching Donna's Edge Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching.